This is Unit 8, Lesson 6. This is just a quick review. Today we're going to be learning about different types of lines. And so I just want to draw your attention to this right here. A line goes on forever in both directions. And so you need to make sure you have the arrows. Then I put right here, this is part of the line called a line segment. And I drew that right here so that you can see that it is part of the line. And this is how you write them. Line AB, line segment AB. Today we're going to start on page 423 in your workbook. And we're going to start talking about some different types of lines. So the first one we're going to work on are parallel lines. Okay? The lines or line segments in these pairs right here are parallel. So two lines are parallel if they are always the same distance apart and they never will cross each other. So if you look at the sets of parallel lines in the example, you can see that they are equal distance apart. Okay, now the next one, the lines or line segments in these pairs are not parallel, okay, because they eventually will cross. Okay, and these have already crossed right here. These have crossed, and these eventually are going to cross. Intersecting lines meet at a point. So you can see where over here where these lines crossed, they meet at a point. What do you think it means for two lines to be parallel? And I already answered this question for you when I first introduced parallel lines. So lines are parallel if they're always the same distance apart and never cross. Please pause the video if you need to write that answer in your workbook. The next question is, if two lines are parallel, will they ever be intersecting? And remember, intersecting means that they will cross each other. And the answer to that one is no. Okay, number 3, we need to draw and label a pair of parallel lines. Okay, and these are lines, so I'm going to put my arrows on the ends. And then I'm going to draw another one down here, so that they are the same equal distance apart all the way down the line. And it says to label them, so I'm just going to call them line AB and line CD. Number 4, draw and label a figure with one pair of parallel line segments. Well, I know that a line segment has two endpoints. Okay, so I'm going to draw a figure that has parallel segments. Okay, so these are parallel right here, and these are parallel lines. So that makes those are line segments. Next, we're going to move on to page 424 and talk about perpendicular lines. Now, perpendicular lines cross each other to form square corners, or what we can call right angles. Okay, and you can see those, I just drew those in. They are always intersecting because they meet at a point. And you can see where I marked those points. They can form angles that are not square corners, so all lines that are intersecting are not perpendicular. So if we look over here, these pairs intersect or cross just like the ones over here, except they do not form right angles. Got an obtuse here, acute, so that's the difference. So what do you think it means if two lines are perpendicular? And the answer to that one is if they cross or meet to form right angles, they are perpendicular. Please pause the video if you need to write that in your workbook. Next, if two lines are perpendicular, will they always be intersecting or crossing? Yes. are all intersecting lines perpendicular? And we can see right here, no, they are not. Now, if I move down here, it says to draw and label a pair of perpendicular lines. So I'm going to draw one line right here and one line right here. I'm going to make sure I put my arrows on them, on the ends. And here is the right angle, so I know that those two lines are perpendicular. And the last one on this page, draw and label a figure with one pair of perpendicular line segments. So I have to make sure that I have two lines that eventually will cross, and I'll just draw dotted lines to show you where they would cross and form a right angle, and then I can make that into a triangle. And I will label this one that if I put X, Y, and Z, so I have line X, Y is perpendicular to line Y, Z. On page 425, you are going to do numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 on your own. Okay, so it asks you to tell whether each pair of lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither one. So go ahead and complete this page. And page 426 is also going to be your homework, and you are going to complete this page on your own. We did one just like this in a previous lesson, so if you can't remember how to do it, go back and check your work from another lesson. And you are in luck. It is Friday, and so you have no other homework except to complete pages 425 and 426 in your workbook.